What's up, YouTube? We got a discussion to do today. These are the 5 yo-yos that you should have in your collection. The first yo-yo, or kind of yo-yo, there's kinds of yo-yos that you should have in your collection. Not specific ones. Everybody's got different tastes. But the first kind of yo-yo that you should have in your collection is a responsive yo-yo. Now, it can be an old favorite, maybe a Omega Fireball, maybe a Duncan Butterfly or Imperial, or maybe a wooden yo-yo. Get a wooden yo-yo. Come play Fixed Axle with us. Gonna be Fixed Axle February here pretty soon. And, you know, Fixed Axle Fridays every Friday. Come have fun with us. But that's the first kind. You need a responsive yo-yo. Now, why do you want a responsive yo-yo? I've got all these unresponsive yo-yos. Well, a couple of things. There's a few things that are only possible on a responsive yo-yo that aren't possible on an unresponsive yo-yo. Things like UFO, flying saucer, regens work differently, looping. You can't loop without if the yo-yo is not responsive. Just lots of things like that. Stalls. Stalls are cool. You know, so getting a responsive yo-yo and playing responsive sometimes, it's also just going to help you clean up your tricks, going to help you sort of just be a better yo-yo player overall. And how cool are the modern metal responsives particularly? I am a big fan of the one-drop deep state. I pretty much change side effects in mine all the time. I have the best half swap, by the way. My friend Sky got this for me when she went and visited One Drop. This is so cool. I have the best half swap. But responsive yo-yos. Responsive yo-yos are the way, and you definitely need to have at least one, if not many, in your collection. There's lots of great options. You know, lots of good wooden yo-yo options. There's still some no jives in stock at Yo-Yo Expert and Tom Kuhn's site. You can also find them on eBay. Tons of great fixed axle yo-yos. The Hildy brothers make a good one. OUT make a lot of good ones. Lots of guys. My buddy Austin, you've seen Austin. He does reviews for me sometimes and does videos for me. Austin turns yo-yos at his house. Catch and release yo-yos. Fixed axle stuff. And, you know, you need a responsive in your collection. Need it in your repertoire. It's a good time. And definitely a kind of yo-yo you should have in your collection. The second one that you definitely need, and maybe you need a couple of these, is a beater yo-yo. Now, my favorite type of beater yo-yo is the $16 plastic known as the Replay Pro. I particularly like these solid colors. This is the Eric Koloski Signature Edition. But pretty much any yo-yo that you're not afraid to get hurt can fall into this category. Now, it should be a durable yo-yo. I find plastic yo-yos, particularly see-through plastic yo-yos, tend to be very, very durable. The solid color Replay Pros are incredibly durable. All the Replay Pros are pretty durable, but you can kind of get the bearing seats wonky on the see-through plastics. The bearing seats can be wonky if you leave it in the car or something. But the solid color ones seem to just live forever and don't even care if you hit them because they don't show signs of damage. I've hit this off of everything. And I had to sand off a scuff, but other than that, it doesn't look like this. Looks like it did the day I bought it. So beater yo-yo, definitely something you need. Beater yo-yos can just be a durable metal yo-yo too. I find yo-yos with long axles tend to be incredibly durable because you're not going to strip them, so the damage isn't going to strip the yo-yo. Plus, I think that the one-drop pure matte finish is a little bit extra durable in my honest opinion and in my experience. It doesn't show the dings as bad, and when it gets dings, they just don't overtake the whole yo-yo. You just get little scuffs or dings, and a lot of times it doesn't even take dings. It doesn't even get dinged. So this is my one-drop made B grade, well, fool's gold Orca. I take this with me everywhere. It's got a lot of love, but it plays pretty much like a brand new Orca would. It's got a little bit of A little bit of vibe, but not much. It's still pretty smooth. I'm pretty sure most of the vibe that I don't feel any vibe on the string, but I'm pretty sure any of the vibe that I look for is just me feeling the dings. I mean, otherwise, this is a great yo-yo. And, you know, lots of good beater yo-yos. Something you don't pay a whole lot for. Something without a big, extravagant finish or anything like that. So, you know, just solid colored plastic, maybe that you got used, or maybe that's got a really durable finish. There's hard coat finished yo-yos as well, or you know, a durable plastic as far as the Replay Pro. But you need a beater or two in your collection. You know, maybe you got a little brother, maybe you got little cousins. You probably should play. You probably take your yo-yo everywhere, and you don't want something bad happening to one of your absolute favorite yo-yos and getting it messed up, you know, especially like, you know, a lot of bimetals are expensive now, but you don't want somebody chucking your bimetal down the steps and dislodging one of the rings. That would suck. So, beater yo-yos. Get them, love them, bring them with you. Thank me later. Next kind of yo-yo that you're going to need is that yo-yo that you're very comfortable with, that is stable and spins a long time and is easy to learn tricks on. Bimetals are great for this. I think Yo-Yo Factory does a really good job actually putting out bimetals and monometals for that purpose, for these, because, you know, they're not always my favorite yo-yos, but they're stable. Yo-Yo Factories particularly tend to have bigger gaps, so you can get more string winds in there without the yo-yo slowing down and dying. They spin a long time, especially if you're able to pick up like a Yo-Yo Factory that is getting blown out. Like once they sort of clean out their old stock of bimetals to bring in whatever the new stock of yo-yos is going to be. Right now, at this very moment, or at least very recently, they were blowing out the Space Cadet for like 50 bucks. That would be a great option for this. But the yo-yo that you can learn tricks on, the yo-yo that's maybe not the most interesting yo-yo and not the most fun yo-yo that you've got, but it's a yo-yo that spins a long time, is super stable, and you can focus on learning the trick, and that yo-yo won't get in your way. Something with low walls, bimetals are usually pretty good for this. Usually wider yo-yos. Great for learning tricks, great for honing in your tricks and trying to perfect them. Like I said, I think Yo-Yo Factory does a good job with these types of yo-yos. My go-to recently for trying to learn anything new has been the Navigator. I know it's base camp, but it's still Yo-Yo Factory. And, you know, it's just stable, it spins a long time, wide gap, fit a lot of string in the gap, and it's pretty cool. And, you know, I got it on discount for like more than half off, so can't beat that. But definitely need that trick learner yo-yo, that yo-yo that is set up just so that you can sit there and try to learn tricks, because everybody wants to learn new tricks. That's what's fun. That's what's fun about playing yo-yo. So you need that yo-yo that is good for learning tricks and that is helpful to you when learning tricks. And a lot of yo-yos fall into this category. The shutter doesn't have to be expensive, just has to be something that's stable, that spins a long time. And, you know, get one of those, keep it in your collection, use it to learn your tricks, because that's fun. Speaking of fun, next kind of yo-yo you're going to need in your collection is the fun yo-yo. Now, this isn't the most stable yo-yo, this isn't the most competition-ready yo-yo, this doesn't even have to be the most expensive yo-yo, but it needs to be a yo-yo that you find fun. It can be gimmicky, it can be responsive. I think the Deep State is super fun. So a lot of these categories can overlap. You can have overlapping yo-yos. So you don't necessarily need, I need to go buy 5 different yo-yos. These categories can overlap. If you think the Deep State is also a super fun yo-yo, overlapping category. See? Saved you money. Probably not. I also think the Kraken is a lot of fun. Like, a lot of people are like, well, I use the Kraken to learn tricks. And that's, you can. The Kraken spins forever and is super stable. But I just think it's kind of big and floaty and light and fun too. I don't think, you know, I don't think it's the best trick learning yo-yo ever, but I think it's a super fun yo-yo. Lots of yo-yos can fall into this category. You know, ART, those guys pretty much just pump out fun yo-yos. So stuff like the Grail, Diptych, the Sparrow, those type of yo-yos. You know, something maybe with higher walls, or, you know, something that's not maybe meant to spin forever. Whereas the easiest yo-yo to perform on, but is just super fun to throw and just has that special floaty feel that you really like. like I said, a lot of these categories kind of overlap. The fun yo-yo can really sort of be anything. Maybe you think the shutter that you learn tricks on is fun. You know, whatever yo-yo you find to be super fun, you need to have a fun yo-yo. A yo-yo that is just like, well, this isn't for performance necessarily, but I find this yo-yo to be incredibly fun, so I want one of these. And the last and the fifth type of yo-yo that you should have in your collection is the Holy Grail of yo-yos. That is the yo-yo that you find the most desirable. Now, you can have lots of Holy Grail yo-yos. You can have a Grail by ART. See what I did there? For me, it was really sort of the G2 swirl. I really like the World Breaker swirl, but I also really like the Arkham swirl. And the Wolf is one of my favorite yo-yos, and it came in both of those. My buddy PJ did a half swap and sold his other half swap, and he sold it to me. And this is sort of one of my Holy Grail yo-yos. So, the Wolf, half swapped, World Breaker, Arkham swirl. But it can really be anything. Maybe your Holy Grail yo-yo is a one-drop Countach 5000 QV. Maybe it's an old school yo-yo that maybe you had when you started yo-yoing that was a really high-end yo-yo, but they're not around anymore or something. Maybe you play Terraria. Maybe the one-drop Terrarian is your Holy Grail yo-yo. Maybe the Kraken is your Holy Grail yo-yo in a certain specific color. What I'm talking about here is sort of a yo-yo that a little more expensive because it's very specific to what you want. Has a really nice swirl or splash or finish on it, and it's just something that you admire. This is the kind of yo-yo that you're not necessarily going to take with you. It's the one you really want to try to avoid beating up, but it's the yo-yo that you always wanted, that you want to play all the time, but you want to make sure you play it over carpet because you don't want to get dings in it because it just looks so darn good. A lot of cool boutique yo-yo companies do stuff like that, and at this point some of those yo-yos have started to become legendary. You know, you guys know how much I like the Banshee, you know, so the Banshee is up there for me as well as the Wolf, but lots of yo-yos. Really any yo-yo can fit into this category if it's just something that you've always wanted or something that you wanted for a long time and that you got it and it absolutely met your expectations but also blew them away, and you just like to look at it and it's sort of perfect to you. It's your Holy Grail. It's the cream of the crop, and I think everybody needs to aspire to have that yo-yo, and once you have that yo-yo, I think it's one of those things that just is sort of the gem of your collection. So the fifth yo-yo that you need to have in your collection is your Holy Grail yo-yo. That can be any yo-yo that you decide is your Holy Grail yo-yo. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I do yo-yo videos every day. Leave me a comment down below. What's your Holy Grail yo-yo? What's your beater yo-yo? Leave me some comments. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Cheers to you. And I'll see you next time.